impact of your manuscript. Drafting, then using use of tenses. Tenses is also very important. When the present tense is to be used, when present perfect tense is to be used, when past tense, when future tense is to be used. This is again very, very important. I'm going to tell you some examples. As far as abstract is concerned, this is your published work but carried out in recent past, and therefore past tense is expected. Don't use present tense as far as, because this is where many times the students are committing mistake, research scholars are committing mistake many a times. And therefore कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि आपका अगर ग्रामर बहुत ही खराब है, although you have got novelty, although you have got technical, good sound technicality of the manuscript, because of just grammatical issue, your paper may get rejected. So try to be very serious about this. You can see how abstract, how it is to be past tense is to be used. In the present investigation, copper benzene blah 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 was synthesized by conventional solvothermal method, because this was my work. I carried out this work in very recent past. Then introduction part. Introduction include background information which is generally accepted as a fact. It is usually presented in present tense. Whatever background information we will be using, that will be usually presented in present tense. For example, VOCs create serious threats to the human being. This is simple present tense. VOCs create serious threats to the human being. Don't use past tense. Another example, genomics provides crucial information for rational drug design. So these are two examples of simple present tense, which based on the background information, which is generally accepted the fact, right? Similarly, the present perfect tense report the result. Whenever you are reporting, because in introduction also you will be reporting your result at the end of your introduction. So like, for example, the great deal of research has been conducted. So this is the present perfect tense. Great deal of research has been conducted, right? I have more examples. You can see here. This is one example of present tense. Heavy metal ions are one of the serious issues. So this is simple present tense. This is like illustrating results. Like this is example of perfect present perfect tense. EU nanoparticles and SWNTs incorporated in this and this structure has been referred as this and this. So this is example of simple present tense. This is example of perfect present tense. So this is how we have to be very careful. Methods. In methods, past tense to describe what was done, because whatever you have carried out, that you need to use past tense to describe what you have carried out. In your method section, it is customary to use a form of simple past tense to describe what you did in your investigation. For example, this and this were procured, these chemicals were procured from sigma ultrage. So this is a simple past tense. This is in method. This is I'm quoting one example of each. Like this were procured from sigma ultrage. Then in result, we need to use past tense for result which we have obtained. Like for example, I mean past tense for result obtained. In your method section, use past tense to detail your result which you have obtained. And as far as figure, tables and graphs are concerned, you need to use present tense. Whatever result you obtain, for referring that, you need to use past tense. But whenever you are referring some particular figure, for that purpose, you need to refer present tense. These are two examples. Additionally, from figure, it can also be observed that, I mean, this is past tense. It can be observed that whatever, right? Then this is like I'm describing my result. This is description of result. N2 absorption, desorption, and so on and so forth is shown in figure. So whenever you are referring figures, tables, you need to use simple present tense. Whenever you are illustrating your result, you need to use simple past tense. Then next, discussion part. In discussion, present tense to explain the significance of the result. I mean, you need to use present tense to explain the significance of the result, but past tense to summarize the finding, with present tense to interpret the result. You see, like the second statement will be having both past tense as well as present tense. You can see here, This is example of present tense. Like SWT does not show any extra peak. I'm explaining the significance of my result. SWT does not show any extra peak due to whatever, right? It means I'm explaining the significance of my result. As far as I'm summarizing here, what I'm doing, whereas other peak was observed, which is not as significant. It means like I'm summarizing, while summarizing, I'm using past tense, while interpreting, I'm using present tense. Whereas other peak was observed, which is not significant. It means I'm using combination of both. Then a conclusion. In conclusion, combination of tenses is always going to be highlighted. Like past tense for research, whatever you have carried out, and future for your future directions. Example, although study found evidence of detection capabilities of SWT for CO2 at laboratory scale, further studies are necessary to ensure its exploration for device fabrication. So what happens, like I'm using past tense for explaining or summarizing my result, and I'm showing some future directions. Further studies are necessary, right? So you can use present tense, and sometimes you can use future tense as well. Like it would be useful for this and this purpose, and so on and so forth.